Hi, and welcome back. I hope you're well. I'm still Fabian, a former automotive strategy consultant turned digital product manager. And in today's session, we are going to talk about product road mapping. First of all, what is a product roadmap? There's so many different forms of product roadmaps. It's a visual representation of the different streams or components of our product and how they're being developed over time, usually including a set of milestones, releases, and similar, and usually also external dependency if there are any. The purpose of a product roadmap is really to align stakeholders, set priorities, and guide product development efforts. And in the session today, I'm going to break down product roadmaps into a couple of components, four to be specific. First of all, I'm going to dive a little deeper into the definition and purpose of product roadmaps. I will be talking about, secondly, types of product roadmaps. Thirdly, I'm going to share some ways and examples in terms of how we can create product roadmaps. And finally, I'm going to share some thinking on how to communicate and maintain the roadmap. So firstly, what even specifically is a product roadmap? So it's generally a visual representation of a product strategy over time. Sounds a little theoretic, so usually there are a couple of key building blocks that can be functional or non-functional. There can be program work streams depending on the nature of our product. Then a timeline, usually also indicating our sprint cycles, and then covering any sort of milestones. The purpose of a product roadmap in digital product management includes a couple of elements. So first, it's important to communicate the product vision to stakeholders. It provides a high-level overview of planned features and initiatives. It aligns cross-functional teams on priorities and timelines. And it also helps to at least facilitate strategic decision-making and resource allocation, and especially in complex programs, it's absolutely fundamental to keep the product roadmap up to date at any point in time. And it is really important, not just for external stakeholders, but also internally, to make sure that everyone is aligned on what the priorities are, what the expectations are in terms of timelines, to surface any challenges, issues, whether it's data or stakeholder requirements or any other dependencies. Product roadmap is really a critical tool to achieve that. So what different types of product roadmaps are there? So there are a couple of different ones. So there are timeline-based roadmaps that sequentially depict features and initiatives over time. There are theme-based roadmaps that organize features and initiatives around specific themes or objectives. There are goal-oriented roadmaps that align product initiatives with strategic goals and outcomes. And there are all sorts of hybrid roadmaps that combine elements of timeline, theme, and goal-oriented roadmaps to suit specific needs. There are, of course, strengths and limitations associated with all of them. Personally, I think from my experience, I know it's critical that every roadmap includes an element of a time indication, because it sounds cheesy, but things take as long as we kind of give them to take, and it's really critical for both internal and external alignments when we work in very clear sprint cycles, when we intend to achieve certain things, and have some form of foresight to really create transparency around that. So yeah, there's no way where a product roadmap is efficient and effective and doesn't include this element of time. And equally, in terms of the different verticals, there can be features, releases, different types of capabilities potentially even. That's something I've done in one of my big transformation programs where we had individual streams for data engineering, data science, and data analytics, and then broke down the different components they work on, how they come together, and this really showed quite clearly, okay, we need to do this, for example, technical data engineering pipeline work before we can build this data science optimization engine, before we can build the analytics on top of that that surface some of these insights to our stakeholders for decision making. Thirdly, delving into creating product roadmaps. So how do we intend to achieve that? First of all, before we create any roadmap, we need to have a clear product vision and strategic goals for what we aim to achieve. We need to have gathered input from stakeholders, including, depending on your product, customers, executives, cross-functional teams, and similar. We need to have a prioritization of features in place and a clear picture of our initiatives based on strategic alignment, user value, and feasibility. We need to have determined dependencies, timelines, and resource requirements for all of the different initiatives. And then finally, once we've done all of the homework, we need to visualize the roadmap using appropriate tools and formats. Can include, but it's infinite list, Gantt charts, Kanban boards, specific roadmap software and similar. And just from experience, in traditional organizations, lots of product managers and other stakeholders still use PowerPoint to achieve that. I've seen recently a trend more towards, as these tools become more widely accepted and used, to actually creating, updating, and using roadmaps in digital whiteboard environments. So whether it's Lucid or Spark or any other digital whiteboard tool, it makes it very easy, accessible. They usually have really good templates to achieve that. And especially, I know it's not a file sitting on someone's computer, but it's very accessible and transparent and can easily be shared. So I generally think that currently, at least, the trend is clearly towards these digital tools that are more accessible. Leads me to the last point that I intend to cover, focused on the communication and maintenance of roadmaps. So, of course, a roadmap can only be really and realistically useful when it's continuously being updated, and this is not something that happens just on its own. We need to establish the right forums to achieve that. So we need to have regular update and refinement sessions based on feedback from internal, external stakeholders to change priorities, or base for change priorities, especially external ones that we might not necessarily be aware of, and other new information. We continuously need to share our roadmap with stakeholders through meetings, presentations, collaboration tools, etc. The battery died there. So we need to ensure that there is transparency and alignment by involving stakeholders in the roadmap planning and review sessions. And we continuously need to monitor progress against the roadmap and then adjust the plans as needed to stay on track. Of course, it's critical to, and really important to keep the roadmap yet flexible, adaptable, to accommodate any changes and evolving priorities, because there's nothing worse than raising any expectations of this roadmap as being the kind of North Star that is set in stone. But especially in agile environments, we need to be very careful in terms of how we articulate roadmaps. We need to make sure that all of our stakeholders understand, and that this is being communicated whenever a roadmap is shared, that this is the current understanding, that this will change, and in an agile environment, it is really potentially the number one tool to bridge short-term development with a long-term vision for what we do. So to conclude and summarize, we've emphasized the role of product roadmaps in guiding digital product development efforts and aligning stakeholders. And I would highly encourage you to integrate product roadmapping practices into your digital product management processes to improve clarity, alignment, and execution. I hope you found this video today useful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm very much looking forward to welcoming you in the next video on digital product management. Take care.